From the filters, we'll go in and we'll actually do the noise, dust, and scratches. And you can see a preview here. You want to take a look at this at 100% to see where those improvements are going to be made. And the dust and scratches is really going to do some blurring here, as you can see, even at the smallest of a radius of 1. Normally you just want to do it just a little bit, but you can see the difference. This is the threshold is going to make things a little bit more sharper depending on what you select. The higher you go, the more sharp you're going to be, and that might make things look real pleasant. As you can see, the preview, if you really throw that radius up there, we'll bring this down here. You can really do some cool things just by playing with the radius and make some very interesting effects in your shots. So something up in the 70s and above has a very interesting effect. And then you have to get down at probably about 5 or so. And you can still get some very interesting effects as well. What I'll do is, I'm going to copy this one because I like it. So, we just have to find our layers back here. We'll make a new layer. And then we'll just duplicate it. You can do that from this side menu if you wanted to. You could duplicate this layer itself, but you need to have this selected here. You can also merge the visible, but you don't necessarily want to just merge visible. That'll get rid of that layer, of course, but if you hold down the button here for merge visible, you can hold down the Alt or Option key, and that's going to duplicate the merged layers. So, and that's going to do that right within the layer that you have selected there. So if you had additional layers, that's a pretty good trick. If you had additional layers, and let's say we had something here, for example, and we had something here, you could actually merge all of these layers like you're doing a copy all and then a paste into a new layer or to a new file. So in this layer here, we're going to do a merge of everything here, just to show you that you can do that. And then again, like I said, Shift Control E or Shift Command E plus the Alt or Option key on the Mac or Windows, depending on what platform you're on, that's going to allow you to do this as well. So again, click the mouse once here, hold it down, and then hold down Alt or Option, let go of the mouse, and then you see we merge everything together. And because this layer is on top and then this layer is on the bottom, you're not going to see anything else here below. You're only going to see the combination of what you see visible at the top there. Without that visible, you see a combination of this. And we'll just do it again. Control Shift E and then the Alt key, or Command Shift E and then the Option key. And there you see. It's merging the layers, but it's merging them into a new layer, or whatever the selected layer is. But you get the idea. So we'll delete them. In any event, we have that layer copied, and we'll go back to our layer here. Controller Command A and then a Controller Command C to copy that into the clipboard. To go back, right after our shadow and highlights, but not including the dust and scratches. And what we'll do is we'll stop there, and now we'll paste that altered version of that, which I think is pretty cool. Came out really nice. So we'll keep that there. Now what we'll do is we want to convert this from a background layer. Layer, new, layer from background. This is going to change this to a regular layer instead of the background layer, which allows us to keep working. You can do a Controller Command J as well to duplicate a layer, any layer, even the background layer. Alright, so we have our two layers here. We'll go back in and do dust and scratches again. Noise, dust and scratches. This time we'll do a 1 and a very low threshold. And I already know, looking around, that I want something like this. You want to look at this at 100%, and then you can get an idea where those dust and scratches are, and then you can see this cleans it up quite nicely. And this is the only layer that's visible, so we're all set. Additionally, you could drop the opacity here on this layer and then have the other layer in the background. And you can create a very nice effect. So something different. It looks more like we're painting with watercolors a little bit. And that's done without working with the filters that you have above here. Additionally, we'll just duplicate that. This is our cleaned up layer. We will sharpen this a little bit using the unsharpened mask. If you add too much sharpening, you get this effect, which is still pretty cool. So we'll keep this, as you can see, and we'll just call this Artsy Sharpen, and this here. This is something we want to copy as well. We're going to duplicate that again. On the PC, Control, Shift, Alt, E. A lot of keys there, but that's going to get what we want. And we'll call this Artsy Blurry. And this bottom layer, because this is merging a couple of things here, this is going to be Artsy Grainy. Now additionally, since we have this one on top here, we do want to keep our other layer that we had there, and we don't want to lose what we had there. So this one here, let's bring this up to 100% again, and we'll see what it looks like without the other layers behind it and at 100%. So it's very sharp. So when we get it back down to 31, it still looks cool, but it's relying on these other two layers. So we have to do a Control Shift Alt and then E again, and that's going to paste it right into this layer that you see here. So just like that, we have 3 different versions that we can work with. Now let's just do a Control A. We'll just do a copy. File New. We'll accept whatever it gives us here because these are the defaults of what we copied. We'll do a paste. It doesn't matter, I just wanted the dimensions, so we do a Control A or Command A and then we delete it by hitting the delete key or backspace key. So it's an empty document. And what we can do is we just need to bring our layers up. So F7, you can see they're down here. And what we do is into our empty document here, gets a little crowded, we can just drag right into here, holding the Shift key down to make sure it's centered. If you don't hold the Shift key down, it's not going to center that. So we hold the Shift key down and we center and bring our other layers in, all 3 of those.